Hi everyone, this is Miss S from Excelsior Charter School, and today we're going to be covering Geometry, Lesson 6-6, Placing Figures in the Coordinate Plane. The easiest way to go about doing that is just to go ahead and get started with some of the questions. That's the best way to learn is by doing in this case. So this question actually comes from your lesson, and it wants us to show that TWVU is a parallelogram by finding the midpoints of the diagonals. If the midpoints are the same, then that's a parallelogram. So it's going to be really important that you guys utilize the answers that they've given you if they've given you a multiple choice problem. So if you look down here, what you'll see is that all of the beginning of this is the same. It says TV equals A plus C plus E divided by 2 and B plus D divided by 2. So we don't need to worry about that section at all. The only part we need to worry about is whether or not they're the same. So if we remember that a midpoint is just the middle point of a line, and in order to find the middle of something, you find the average. So you add up all the values and divide it by the number of values that you have. So I've drawn the line TV here for us in blue. All the x values are A, plus the other x value here for V is C plus E divided by 2, just like they said. And we can check that against WU, the green line that I've drawn here. The x values are A plus C and E. So that's the same. So far we're a yes. And then the values they gave us in the blue here are B plus D divided by 2. So let's double check it for W here. Here is the B plus D and then plus 0, which is nothing at all. So this is check. Yes, they are the same. Our next problem actually comes from your practice. So this says they want us to find the coordinates of W and Z. And these are a little bit hard to read. So I went ahead and redrew them over here in the black just so they're a little bit easier to see. So this first point here, if we come from the origin, we go out to point C, and then we don't go any up and down. So this point is C, 0. To get to the next point, we would start from the origin, and we would move out C minus A, and then we would go up to B. So that means that to go up to W would also be the same, and it would be up to B. So W is definitely going to have a second part of B, and since it doesn't move any to the left and the right, it's going to start with a 0. So the coordinates for point W are definitely 0, B. The coordinates for point Z are definitely trickier. Notice that from here to here is C, and notice that from here to here is C minus A. So the difference here in the yellow from here to here must be A, and that's the same distance as from here to here. So to get to point Z, you would begin at the origin and you would go out A, and then you would not move any up or down. So point Z can be found at A, 0. Don't be discouraged if this is challenging for you. This is a very difficult question. This one also comes from the practice here. What are the coordinates for point P? So to begin with, let's note that the distance from our y-axis to this point here, it moves out A. So this distance is A. From here to here is A, which means because this is an isosceles trapezoid, from here to here is also A. However, if we start at the origin and move all the way out to this line, this is C. So to get to point P, you would need to come all the way out here to C and then come back A to get to this line right here. So that's C minus A. And then you'd move up this direction, the same height as this line here, which brought us to point B. So the correct answer here is C minus A, B. And then our last one says the coordinates of 3 vertices of a rectangle are as follows, and they want you to find the coordinates of the midpoint of the diagonal joining that and the 4th vertex. So let's go ahead and draw this out. So here's my coordinate plane. I have a point here at 2A, 0. I have a point above that at 2A, 2B. And my third point is across the y-axis here at negative 2A, 0. So my fourth vertice must be right here since this is a rectangle. And to get there, we would move negative 2a, positive 2b. And that's the coordinate of that fourth vertex. However, that is not what they are asking us for. They are asking us for the midpoint of this diagonal. So remember, to find midpoint, you have to add all the x values together and divide by 2, and then add all the y values together and divide by 2. So for the x values, I have the negative 2a and the positive 2a. Add those together and divide by 2, and what you'll get is 0. And for the y values, we'll take the 2b and the 0. We'll add those together and divide by 2. And 2b plus 0 is 2b, and 2b divided by 2 is b. The midpoint of our diagonal here is at 0, b. Remember to use the answers that they've given you, and remember to try your best. This is a very challenging lesson. Good luck, you guys. Hope you do great.